It's Ryan from Niche Facts. I just wanted to go over an interesting niche opportunity that I recently blogged about. So the idea is creating a content website that monetizes using a ticket affiliate network. So something like Ticket Network or Ticketmaster, they both have affiliate programs. Ticket Network actually pays out 12.5% commission. So the way I would approach doing this is to build up like a content website. So you can do that in a variety of different ways. So for instance, if you had like a local area website, like say you specialized in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and you profile like all of the different music halls and theater venues and anything you could imagine that sells tickets in that area, you can find events inside of Ticket Network. So like if I go there and I put in Chattanooga, see what comes up, we get this whole slew of different venues. So for instance, here's one, Tivoli Theater. So if I were to go to Google and just see what sort of search volume is there for that, I get, using the keywords everywhere Chrome plugin, I see there's 27,000 searches for this. And just like eyeballing this is not a competitive landscape. So for instance, looking at this is Fandango. They have the third result for this. There's nothing here. There's literally literally no content on this website. This is all just, widgets and, there's no written word here. So if you were to publish, 500 words on this, 700, even, 1,500, which is what I generally recommend, just in terms of ensuring that you capture all the possible long-term, all the long-tail keyword search volume, it would be, you could really get some traffic to that page over time. And so what happens is, like with Ticket Network, you could embed this view right here. There's a widget maker, actually it's a plugin maker that you can use. And I actually generated one on this post on nichefacts.com/tickets, / rather. So this is an example. And so if I click, because I live in New York City, so I produced one for the Bowery Electric, which is it's a nearby music venue. So if I click tickets, I go through Share a Sale to a Ticket Network landing page for the particular event that I selected. And then if they make a purchase, then I would get 12.5% commission on that. So that's one way of approaching it, is to generate a lot of content around local area venues. Another idea is, say you specialize in sports, say you're a football website. Actually, let's do basketball, because I'm a basketball fan. So if you're a basketball website, there's over 30 professional teams. Those may be a little bit harder to rank for. So if I were looking for like Knick tickets, it can be, it's obviously a bit more competitive. But there are all sorts of sporting events that you could find. You don't have to do just basketball, but even with the Knick example, the Knicks have a G League team, which is like this developmental league, like a minor league team essentially. There are tickets for things like that you can find within Ticket Network or Ticketmaster, for example. So you could do a website around theater. Say you just specialize in writing up theater reviews. A great way to monetize is to sell tickets to those theater events. So you could do, say you have a website that's based around like musicals. There's all sorts of search traffic that you can find. So say like theater like, let's see what happens with theater in Tennessee. I hope I spelled Tennessee correctly. So for instance, just typing that in, I see like within the state of Tennessee, there are all sorts of different theaters. So from an SEO perspective, ranking for Ryman Auditorium, ranking for Tivoli Theater, which is what we saw before. You could rank for those individual terms, which have relatively massive volume and relatively non-existent SEO competition. So there's a lot of different ways you can kind of take it. You can just have different angles like, oh, I'm going to do local area events and just cover all of Tennessee, or I want to do a theater website and just cover all theater across the nation, or maybe I just want to do musical theater across the nation, or maybe I want to do punk music on the East Coast. You know, you take different sort of angles on it, and you can create a more specialized website with very, curated content. Like if you go too broad, if you're a national resource for every single ticket, it's harder to get people to subscribe and engage with you when they don't really see a tight content focus. So that's sort of my ideas on that. And the other interesting thing that you can do within this realm is, say, it basically lets you in and access travel affiliate programs. So say people, they're in New York City, but they're planning a trip to Memphis, maybe because they want to see a particular show at the Orpheum Theater. You can use widgets supplied by something like Hotels Combined and create you create these little widgets that sort of pre-populate an existing destination. So say you have a content page for the Tennessee Theater, the widget you create would have preloaded, Knoxville as a destination. And so people would just have to click and they would see a list of places, a list of flights that are going to that destination. So I actually created a site in this niche, in the ticket niche, and I was a little bit surprised that a lot of these affiliate programs for these like flights or hotels, they're really not that lucrative, which is a little bit surprising to me. I may have to do a little bit more digging, but some of these, like I was trying to find the Hotels Combined. Let me see, how much can you earn with this? How much can I earn? So for example, for Hotels Combined, most affiliates earn between 50 cents and $2 per lead. So it's not always so incredibly lucrative, but it's something I'm still playing around with. I'm not a complete expert on the travel affiliate industry, but I think it's an interesting way to diversify. Say if you're relying on Amazon Associates to generate most of your affiliate revenue, the fact that could potentially turn off at some point, or like they did in March, reduce the commission structure extensively, you're very exposed if you rely just on one affiliate network or one affiliate program. In that case, Amazon is both an affiliate network and an affiliate program. So the idea here, and I wrote up a little summary of why I really like this niche, is that it's a very easy SEO opportunity. It's very easy to produce very, very cheap content that ranks because there's just no competition for a lot of these keywords. The local area venues just don't have a lot of content written about them. You'll be competing with Yelp pages where there's a lot of user-generated content, or even sometimes, since I'm doing a site in this niche now, there are places without Yelp pages, or with Yelp pages with just like one or two reviews, and you even produce more content than the actual venues themselves have for their own websites, which is pretty surprising. So you really have a strong chance of ranking. But what else do I like about this? Easy to generate cheap content, and like I said before, when I wrote this post, I was assuming that this was going to be an ultra lucrative affiliate opportunity working within the travel niche, but not so much so far. So I'm still experimenting with it. Another interesting thing besides within the travel niche is there are actually parking affiliate programs. So let me just pull up. I know there's one called Parking Whiz. I've seen that on websites before. Let's see what they say about their affiliate program. So here's the affiliate program. And the other great thing about this is that these affiliate programs are very easy to get into. Unlike things that some programs are a little bit, I don't want to, a little bit snooty sometimes. They can be a little bit exclusive. They want to see that you've got, traffic, that you've earned money. So if you're a novice, it can be a little bit daunting getting into some of these programs if you don't have any earnings to show. But these things, they'll just, they want you in. They want the traffic. It's competitive. There isn't, as much sort of brand reputation risk for them, generating a ParkWhiz, widget on your page. They're not so much concerned how you promote, I guess I would say. So there's a little bit lower barrier to entry. Sometimes they don't like to say exactly how much the commission is. Like in this, they're a little bit sly. They're not actually saying how much you get, but they say every time a visitor you refer to ParkWhiz books a spot, you'll receive a commission. So I've seen this widget on other pages where you can kind of pre-populate the destination, and then it'll show, the parking opportunities nearby that you can book. So, for instance, going back to the theater example, a landing page you would create would have, Tennessee Theater in Knoxville. You would create a little widget or a little plugin using Parking Whiz, and that way people, when they land on your page, maybe they buy a ticket, maybe they book a flight, maybe they want to just find some nearby parking. So it's actually a very clever little way to diversify, get outside of the Amazon Associates program if that's something that interests you. I guess the last thing I would think about is you can actually do something around musical acts. So if you're really into, say, alternative rock music, just profiling where some of these bands are going to play. So let's just take something. I used to like Bad Religion when I was very young. I don't even know if they're still around, but let's see if we can use them as an example. So you could create I'm doing this on the fly. I'm not even sure that Ticket Network has Bad Religion as a band. Or maybe they're not even on tour. Actually, so they do. So yeah, they're not actually touring right now. But if you like punk music, you can create a fun little punk music site that has that profiles these musical acts and just has this widget that you create to let me find an act that's currently playing. So Coldplay. Okay, they're not actually playing. Bad example. Celine Dion. Okay, so she's currently on tour. So you would just be able to create this plugin right here using the Ticket Network plugin maker, and say wherever you embedded this, it would just be populating the upcoming concert schedule. So if you were really into some sort of musical genre, you can just write up a huge post about one of these bands here, something like, oh, Beat Happening, that was one of my favorite bands when I was in my 20s, and I don't think they're still touring, but you could write something up and it would be really interesting. You'd probably enjoy creating it, which is another sort of benefit of using this strategy, is that if you're passionate about this music, it's a fun way to make money online. You're writing about what you like, and there are affiliate programs that can help support you as you create content in this niche, whether it's you're selling. You could even work with Amazon Associates and just affiliate link to the music they create. But really, with this, I like the idea of just sort of profiling the artist in context with where they're going to be performing. So that's really it. And on this post, I really dive into a lot of strategies that I would consider, and sort of the learnings that I'm having as I go through, building out one of these styles of sites. As I say, it's a good niche for novices because you can get into the programs a lot easier than some other ones. Although Amazon Associates, to be fair, is actually pretty easy to get into, and that's a great starting point for most people. This is sort of a little bit more advanced, but one thing that I discovered and I thought was really interesting, I was listening to a podcast called Affiliate Buzz, and they had a guest on named Vinny O'Hare, and one of the things that he does to generate, sort of create user-generated content is that he will send out these WordPress Gravity Form surveys, and he interviews people in the niche. He gets the response back as like a draft post in WordPress, and then he's able to actually publish their responses on his site. So if you were doing something like, let's go back to the example of the theater in Tennessee, you could write to Ryman Auditorium and just say, we're profiling prominent playhouses in the state of Tennessee, and you wanted to hear a little bit more about you, and maybe you send them 5 questions to answer, and they send back 1,000 words of content that's unique and it's free. So I thought that was a really cool way to kind of leverage content creation, and that's what I'm all about. I like to find sort of cost-effective, impactful ways to generate content, in the niche. So that really covers it. It's an interesting opportunity. I think it's kind of fun. I haven't seen much written about making money online in the ticket niche. So just let me know what you think in the comments section of this video, or just head over to my post. It's nichefacts.com/tickets, and I respond to all comments. So let me know what you think.